This is how humans work. A human being takes an action. Let's say that it is manually brewing a hot cup of coffee, which needs a lot of time, effort, and patience. Like a lot of time, effort, and patience. When the action is done, the brain asks itself, why the fuck did you have to go through all that just for a cup of coffee? And in comes the answer.
Because I'm a coffee lover.
Now that is an identity. An identity of a coffee lover. Now, being this coffee lover, one will have to take action to justify the tag. Buying a Nescafe sachet doesn't fit the label. So, our coffee lover buys expensive shit online, from a 3000 rupees kettle to expensive coffee beans, just to fit the tag of that coffee lover. This is one of the most basic principles of how human beings function. The human brain is awesome. It takes action, builds identity based on that action, and then takes action to fit that identity. This is why criminals keep committing crimes once they are labeled criminals. The funny guy in your class becomes a stand-up comedian because some time ago, like a long time ago, someone laughed on his joke. Human beings build identity like a snowball effect. The more action we take, the more identity we build around the action.
Orgasm in every single fiber of my body.
The stronger identity we build, the better action we are able to take. Now, until you don't know this principle, you are basically driving through life with a blindfold on. But once you know this principle,
187 Luminous.
well, then basically you are just playing with cheat codes. Take binge eating for example. What? Don't look at me like that. Binge eating, screw up, fuck up. All are the results of this principle working against you. Remember the prison example I gave you? How a criminal becomes more of a criminal when society labels him criminal, or when the court puts him in the prison. Once a person is labeled a criminal, he cannot stop himself from committing crimes. That is a fact. Because, well,
I'm a bad person anyway, might as well do something bad for my own pleasure and good.
a better way nowadays applied to treat and heal criminals is to make them participate in good, ethical, soul-feeding actions. Planting a tree, for example, working in a charity, meditating, things like that. But what does all that have to do with binge eating? Well, everything.
You see, you could be doing every single thing right. You could be giving you 100% your diet. You could be giving you 100% your exercise until you go to a friend's birthday party or something like that and they bring a pizza in front of you. And you think moderation is the key to good life, and you put one slice in your mouth, which is followed by a fuck ton shit, like a massive huge storm of guilt and regret.
I screwed up. I fucked up. Your situation is like that of a criminal who has committed a crime in full rage. It happened. You lost control. Now at this point, you could create an identity out of this situation and say, well, I'm a bad person now anyway, might as well enjoy being bad and finish this whole pizza. Or you could take an uncomfortable right action using all the willpower you have and go plant a tree.
In this scenario, of course, planting a tree would mean going and cooking yourself a good, wholesome, healthy meal. As soon as you take the effort in that direction to get few raw ingredients together, cook them and eat them, you are completely back on track again. You have set yourself on a good loop of action and identity. So in future, whenever you are tempted with something like a short-term pleasure of any kind that is actually going to ruin your goals, this identity that you have formed yourself that gets back on track every single time is going to take over your actions and going to save you in that moment.
This feedback loop of action and identity is one of the most ancient mechanisms in the brain that has helped us to get motivated to do hard shit, to survive in the darkest of times and get to where we are today. But it's a double-edged sword. It can make you or it can totally break you. It can break you if you're unaware of it. The moment you realize that the whole roller coaster ride in either direction has its beginning in your actions, you have unlocked the secret to make your life have real meaning and fulfillment.
So here and on, you have to understand that this whole roller coaster ride in either direction, in completely ruining your life, in completely ruining your goals, or in completely succeeding in your life or winning in your life, has its beginning in your action at this moment. The action you take right now is going to form the identity, and that identity is going to carry over into that action, right? So it's always, all of it is always in your hand at this moment for you to take control of.